If you're a tenant and you're no longer needing the type or size of your current premises, you might be wondering, what are your options for ending your lease? Well, the starting point is to have a look at the termination clauses in your current lease. Now, most commercial leases won't allow the tenant to end the lease prior to the termination date unless something exceptional has occurred. For example, the expiry of a no access period after an emergency such as an earthquake. If you're set on an early exit from your lease, you need to bear in mind that the landlord is not required to agree to this request. Often they'll only allow it if you make an exit payment. An exit payment might be substantial and will depend on a number of factors such as how long is left on the lease, incentives provided by the landlord like a fit-out contribution, the ease of securing a replacement tenant, and the current market rent for the premises. If you can negotiate an exit payment, it can mean a clean break from the lease obligations. However, it can be at a significant cost. Another option is to find a tenant who will step into your shoes and take on the lease obligations. This is known as an assignment of lease, and it will require your landlord's consent. While the landlord has some discretion, they also can't unreasonably withhold consent provided the incoming tenant is respectable, responsible, and financially stable. This approach has the advantage of not requiring a lump sum exit payment, but finding a solid tenant willing to take on your lease may not be that easy. It's also important to note that when you assign your lease, you're not fully absolved of your obligations. If the assignee defaults, responsibility will fall back on you to cover any shortfall. Where you do pursue an assignment, you can reduce your risk by negotiating with the landlord to cap this ongoing liability to a certain amount or for an agreed period of time. If you still want to keep some of the premises for your business but don't need all the space you've leased, you can sublease a portion of the premises. A sublease differs from an assignment of lease in that you'll still be responsible for all of the lease obligations, but a subtenant is also occupying the premises and paying a contribution towards the rent. Entering into a sublease will still require consent from the landlord, and as with assignment, this consent may not be unreasonably withheld. With all property agreements, a sublease should be clear with respect to each party's obligations and formally documented in a deed of sublease to avoid any ambiguity. If you're considering reducing your lease overheads, get in touch with NZ Legal by completing a form on our website, and we will help you negotiate the best deal.